Hey, Scott, we
Hey,
are
Ellis.
live. You said you were going to tell a story, but you were going to share it with everybody. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
well, I told you a story, but I'm going to tell everybody a story. So,
Okay.
last Saturday, I don't know if I told you, but my brother and I were going to a seminar in Enid about a Christmas tree farm. Did I
Uh-huh.
tell you that? Okay, because that's something.
Well, well, I knew that you were doing a lot of
Yeah.
research.
So, well, and for the listeners, my brother and I, my mother has 180 acres in Oklahoma City, very prime location. It's not like downtown. It's on the edge of the city, but it's good property. Been in the family for probably 100 years, and the probably not quite 100 years, but anyway, the we're so my brother and I are looking at it like what how can we do this? How can we monetize this basically? And so one things
Mm-hmm.
we talked about is a Christmas tree farm, and so we went to a seminar about Christmas tree farms on last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So we were in Enid, Oklahoma, and we're at this thing, and it kind of starts to rain, and the weather's supposed to be bad, and it starts raining, and so we're like, and the it's raining, so we go into the barn. We've been there at this point. We've been there for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. It's kind of winding down. We're supposed to do lunch, and there's some other stuff, and then we're going to leave, shortly after that. Well,
Mm-hmm.
we're lining up for lunch. They bring in barbecue to this big barn, and we're lining up for lunch, and this fire truck comes down the road, and there's lights are
Catch,
on, and we're like,
catches
what in the
fire.
world?
Okay, go ahead.
No, well, they pull in the driveway.
Uh-huh.
And so we're like, is the field on fire? What's going on? So the wife runs out there and talks to him, and she says, we've got to go to shelter. There's a tornado headed directly this
Oh
way.
boy.
And and so we go, and they had told us, oh, if something happens, we do have a shelter. It's in the house. It's in one of the closets. We go in there, Ellis, and it's like this closet, and in the bottom of the closet there's a door like you'd see in garage shelters that slid back, and there's a ship's ladder going down there, and I look down there, there's about 30 people there, and I go, there's no way 30 people can fit in this.
Yeah.
So I told my brother, I go, I don't really want to go down there, and I
Yeah.
said there's not enough room for us. I don't think I'm claustrophobic, but I might be with 30 people and something like
Yeah. Oh
that.
yeah. I'd dodge on. Yeah.
And so I said, I wonder if we could outrun it. And so I go out, and there's the guy on the porch is like looking at the weather, and I go, you know, I'm thinking about just leaving and outrunning the storm. And he goes, well, which direction are you going? I said, we're going south. And he goes, oh yeah, it's coming from the west and it's moving north. So
Mm-hmm.
if you leave, he said, if you leave now, you probably miss it. And so we left, and I went 75 for the next. We went through a couple towns at about 60. It was like 35 miles an hour, and we had my windows down, and you could hear their sirens are going off.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Well,
was like,
did it touch or not? Did you?
it did not touch.
Yeah.
We drove. I don't know how far it was. We drove quite a ways, and then we stopped for lunch because we didn't get lunch. When we drove out of the clouds, it was obvious it was behind us, and so I texted the lady, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry we bailed on you." There was a lady that I know that kind of invited us,
Uh-huh.
and we left, and I said I didn't see her when we left. I said, I won't say her name, but tell her that we left. And I said, oh, I'm sorry we bailed on you. I said, we tried to drive out of it because I got a brand new car, so I didn't want to get held on. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. That's the worst part about doggone tornadoes is they bring
well,
that still moment with hail.
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. And she said, I said, I hope everybody's okay. And she goes, oh yeah, it went around us, and it was a little bit north of us, but they were, and when we went out there, I looked, and I was like, I don't really see it. I was like, do you see it? And they're like, well, they're saying it's right there. And I go, well, that doesn't really look like a tornado, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a weatherman. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we dodged that bullet. That was my exciting Saturday last Saturday.
Well, it is pretty exciting if you.
It is. I've been in that situation a couple times.
Yeah, what was Saturday? I'm trying to think. It seemed like most of it kind of like moved.
It's
We got the sirens going off too, and it's like that is a very upsetting moment when all of a sudden it's like, you know, we're not telling you specifically what's wrong, but we're going to raise hell with these sirens until you come outdoors and check on it.
yeah. Anyway, so that happened, and of course, you and I've been talking about. I recorded a video this week that seems to have gone semi-viral, kind of viral. I mean, I've gotten
How many you up to?
how many views?
Yeah.
I think I'm closing in on 2,000 maybe in
Oh,
three
that's pretty
days.
good.
Yeah, definitely my best performing video ever. And it's called it's what, and you see I'm plugging it here on YouTube.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually below in the data on this, there's the link to it, and it is the pure link to it too. It's not just your generic website link. It's to that specific video.
oh, okay, yeah. The video is called Three Reasons Why I'll Never Work for Marvel Comics. Oh my gosh, talk about getting the people come out of the woodwork to tell me why I'm wrong.
Hmm.
It's amazing. It is because it's like
Well,
I'm not allowed.
you are getting comments, huh? So that's
Oh
what you
yeah,
want for one thing. You want
you
what do
want
they call
engagement.
that? Yeah, yeah, engagement. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and several people have, and I posted it in the Cartoonist Kayfabe Facebook group,
Uh huh.
and so people have come on and people have said, "Well, I want to know. I'm not going to watch your video, but I want to know. Have you turned down a job from Marvel? If not, then which is pretty much irrelevant because I start the video and say, well, I got to be honest. If Marvel offered me a job, I'd consider it, but with these caveats, and one of them was there's no way I'd work for Marvel on a this is my long term job kind of situation. It's just not
Hmm.
that steady,
Yeah.
and I go
Well,
over
yeah. I
all
mean,
that.
to an extent, it's you criticizing what shouldn't be as the for your fellow artists. What you're criticizing the environment that
Yes.
is is present in the current
Yeah.
situation.
And some people are very offended by that, and they're like, "Well, you'd work for Marvel." And well, would I? I mean, anyway, I go over all that in the video, and I'm very upfront about, yeah, I know this title's kind of provocative, and people are like, "Oh, you're just doing clickbait." It's like, well, did I name the video hoping people would watch it? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
you'd be foolish not to. You know.
I clicked this one because we are going to talk about YouTube. Obviously,
Oh.
I clicked this one. I entitled this one "Tsunami Bait." Clickbait, tsunami clickbait, because I
Yeah.
discovered accidentally when the algorithm started feeding me tsunami videos that about 50% of them were just people sharing their vacation footage, and there was no tsunami involved. And did the Whisper Network send you a night letter? If they did, I am so jelly. Wait a
no,
second. This is Dan.
yeah,
This
it's
the
Dan.
page is looking good, Scott.
Oh, thanks. I should be done with this. I was working on this last week, but I've had issues. Oh, no, no, no. No. I was not working on this last week. Wait, was I? Or was I working on? I don't remember what I was doing.
Last week. Did you understand what he says when he asks you about the Whisper Network?
Yes, there is a group of people in comics that spread rumors about people, and supposedly they'll email you
Oh,
and say, if you don't toe the line, we'll. I don't know what they would. I mean, I was very. I mean, it's like, why would they care if I work for Marvel Comics or not? It is amazing though how some people are really offended by it.
well, yeah, and it's always kind of alarming when when some sort of entity like that does reach out to you. It's like what kind of
Who's
malevolence is
yeah
at work
yeah
here
who, who's
for
watching
somebody
me?
to even pay attention to me? Yeah, yeah. It's
Well,
like
and
it's like Lindsey Graham has supposedly turned his phone over because a Chuck Schumer imitator has has interacted with him on his phone, which makes me laugh. It's like somebody imitating Chuck Schumer to talk to Lindsey Graham.
yeah,
It's
that
like
is kind of
it's like
funny.
well, what did they fished him basically probably, and
Probably
I wonder what they were trying to get out of him.
they probably did something to get his cell number, and then
Yeah,
the so the most of the people that have responded negatively have been on that cartoonist kayfabe Facebook page.
uh,
And what's gratifying is a lot of people watched the video and said, you know what, you're right, because I lay out the numbers about pay and all this stuff, and people were like, oh my gosh, the
hey, I'm just going to read you some. Okay,
okay,
go ahead,
well let me
continue
let
with
me
your.
finish my
Yeah,
let
yeah,
me
go
finish
ahead.
my
Yeah.
comment. So one of the things is people that have by their own profession have said, I'm not going to watch it, but and they've talked about most people would love to work for Marvel Comics because the money, and I'm like, watch my video. If you think the money's good, you need to. And then I realize, I go, well,
Need
I
to
don't
do
know
the
these
math.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do the math, but I don't know what these people do. But I mean, I'm like, maybe they're delivering pizzas, and it is, But I haven't engaged in anybody that's negative. Well, there was one guy that's quasi negative. One guy just flat out was like, I'm not gonna watch your. I want to know have you turned down a job offer from Marvel? I'm not gonna watch your video, but I just want to know. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, if you're not gonna watch my video, then
Mm-hmm.
then kiss my butt. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
You have to watch it, even though I mean, I'm not. I don't think
You have
whether
to watch it,
Marvel,
like it, and subscribe, and then
right,
you can
then
criticize me.
then I will answer your questions. Well, I mean, his thing was, has Marvel offered you a contract? Or I forget how he worded it. Have you turned down an offer from Marvel or something like that? And it's like, well, no. I mean, that Marvel has never emailed me and said, we'd like you to draw Spider-Man. Will you do it? And I've said no. That's never happened. But I mean, they've sent me some scripts and asked me to draw stuff, and I've drawn some stuff, and I've not drawn some stuff, and to me, there's no difference if I say, I mean, I haven't sent anything to Marvel in years, and that's on purpose. I just realized I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's nothing to be gained by it is my thing. Everybody thinks it'd be the greatest thing in the world, but, and it's not just the money. There's a lot that I go into in the video. A lot of it has to do with the kind of product they're putting out. And then the fact that, well, I'll just spill the beans. And then the fact that, like, it's not a fun, it doesn't appear from the outside to be a fun place to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's filled with people like this guy that's like, hey, you tell me. It's like, nah, you kiss my ass. you know I'm not.
Catch up with Dan here. Kevin, he's sent a whole stuff.
Sent me
Kevin
some
sent
let.
me some lettered pages for chapter two.
Oh, nice.
Dude, you can't ditch the big two. I mean, comics have never been better. They're selling millions of copies every issue.
Yes, that's what people are acting like.
Heidi and Rich said so, and they never lie. I would
Yes.
love to work for Marvel, but the Marvel from '84. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I talk about in the video.
Don't give it away for free. Watch the video. That's right.
Yeah, watch the video. Watch the video. Well, and I in the video I'm like, hey, if you disagree, let me know. Why am I
Yeah,
wrong?
exactly. Engage. Honest truth, is it a race to see who goes? It is a race to see who goes under first, DC or Marvel. It is, obviously they're put such total emphasis on their movies that,
Yeah, but the movies aren't doing that good.
yeah, I know. Well, that's the point. They don't have a farm team anymore,
Right. Yeah. Well,
and
and
it's
it's
like,
funny, in the cartoonist kayfabe group, somebody said, well, it's like if you were playing high school ball and somebody offered you a chance to play professional ball, you jump on it. And I said, no, I disagree with that. I said, I would say it's more like you have a great job and you play ball in a pickup league on the side, and someone offers you a job potentially on their farm team, but you got to quit your great daytime job.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because there's no secure. And I kind of went, are you going to get injured? Are you going to move to? Nobody. There's a lot of insecure, a lot of uncertainty with a job at Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and for some people, if and again,
I would,
everybody's.
I would compare it to any other job I've ever had in the past, and I'd never feel like I had a job with Marvel. I feel like they would just be a freelance account. I'd never feel like I had a job.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to treat it if it happens. And don't get me wrong, if and again, I'm very upfront about it. If somebody from Marvel like, hey Scott, I would consider it seriously. I'm not gonna say I'd take it or not take it, but there's no way I quit my day job and do it though. I'd only do it if I could do it on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Sure.
too nice. First off, it's not that much money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that should be my answer to the guy that I should say, no, I couldn't take the pay cut.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, yeah. It's and it's extremely labor intensive for the money involved. Yeah.
Well, and that's my thing. It's like, man, there are a lot better art jobs out there. I mean, I got one. My job, I would consider my job much more
Oh, it's the reason that everybody that was doing comics
is doing anim.
quits it immediately for games. So don't worry about there being better jobs out there for you. If you're an artist, you will on your own seek to get Marvel out of your life. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. You'll find a desire to get something other than a comic book company to work for. Dan makes a point. Neither company's called these Jack Wangs out over Ed Piskor, and the ones who pushed him over the edge are still working.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
not sure. I'm not sure the personalities involved at the official comic book companies that actually went for him, but I didn't follow it that close. I got I'm the kind of guy that gets the general outline by just reading the headlines from the New York Post and seeing how many muggings went on and how many stabbings went on, but I don't really
Nice.
want to dive in too deep on them.
Yeah.
It just amazes me how much mayhem goes on in a big city per day.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we're going to be in New York in August, so I'm
Oh
hoping.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it may be after the summer of, chaos, or the sequel to the summer of chaos.
Yeah, well, yeah, the that whole thing of getting all those people cleared out that ended up all of them, half of them not being
Oh,
students.
thank you, Dan. I just read what you said. That was very kind of you.
Yeah, I didn't say, or I didn't comment on that one. Sorry.
That's okay. I
I
happened to
clicked
look
on it.
up. I happened to
Yeah, I
look up
happened
and
to look
see
up.
it.
That's good.
Thanks, Ellis. Anyway, so that's been my excitement because I mean, my goal. I mean, my goal is not to work for Marvel. My goal is to get a YouTube channel that's monetized.
There
You
you
know,
go. That's
food on that
that's
Marvel crap.
look at Doug. Doug has said goodbye to comics without a single thought about it. He's going where the money's at.
Yep.
But I wanted to ask you this. I don't know specifically, but I think you talk about making money, but the 1,000 goal, which is what you do, you walk before you run, and you're working toward that 1,000. But even if you had an engagement of 1 million views
Yeah.
with 1,000, what would that pay you? I don't think it'd pay you anything practically. I mean, as far as I know, it's
I
all
have no.
about
I
how many. Yeah, well, that's the deal. You still have to educate yourself quite a bit, and I would have to as well. It's like I think 1,000 just puts you in the.
No, no, no. You get monetized, but I don't
You
know how
get
much.
monetized, but I believe it's nothing. Nothing compared to
No,
the
no, no,
money
no.
you get per subscriber base. You've got to have the subscribers before the money
Well, that's what
means anything.
that's I have no, no, no. I have to get 1,000 subscribers before I can even get monetized.
Right. That's the base. That's the
But I mean, not Let me get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll tell you how bad
right,
it
right.
is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Well, yeah. Well, now I tell you what, the biggest hit you'll ever have for one of your videos is telling everybody the facts about
yeah,
your YouTube channel. That
let me
apparently is
tell you,
one way to have a viral video is to say, "Well, let me tell you everything I know about how I'm
dude.
making money with my YouTube channel."
My first video will be how did I get monetized,
How I did it.
and
Yep.
and I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
If I end up with which I mean, I've had like in 48 hours, Ellis, I had 3,000 views on my videos. So I
Wow.
mean, the video, I mean, it's crazy how just out of nowhere,
Well, all of a sudden, yeah, put you on the nap. It's like Adam the
and
Woo. Both
yeah,
you and I are following the guy. Go ahead.
yeah. Well, and I think the more and there was a thing that said it had the percentage of times it recommended my video and people that clicked on it, and I was
Uh-huh.
like at 6%, which it said was like significantly higher than average. So
Ah.
whatever is going on,
People are sharing it. People are saying, "Hey, check this
yeah,
out."
I got a lot of shares.
Cool.
And again, I mean, I
It's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting. And I think you right away you showed some savvy with your thumbnail.
yeah, yeah.
That's one of the most important parts is
Oh
that
yeah,
you have a good thumbnail.
I've put some stuff up and not used a thumbnail, but yeah, I knew on that one I needed to put the wording in the thumbnail
Mm-hmm.
so that people would go, "Oh, okay." And that's the same thumbnail I use for my how to draw comics the Marvel way lessons. I mean, that's how I had it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what happened? You still there?
Sorry, yeah, somebody was calling me,
Okay.
but that's okay. They can wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Just had a little void there. I knew
Yeah.
something had gone on.
Anyway,
I'm.
yeah, that's the same. I don't know if you heard this. That's the same thumbnail I use for my how to draw comics the Marvel way videos, and so I just went in and kind of manipulated that a little bit.
Cool.
Uh, but yeah, so the other thing is my I don't know if I mentioned this on the show. My friend that is friends with the MTV guy.
Uh huh.
They want me like on weekly phone calls now, dude.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, I should tell them I'll do it for money.
Well, yeah. You need to let that one. You need to
Yeah, that one I'm gonna.
before you set the hook on that one. Let that one play a while. Let it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Well, and it's funny you say that you
Mm-hmm.
use that term "set the hook"
Mm-hmm.
because I will say this. When I did this video about why I'll never work for Marvel Comics, I thought about that. I thought, golly, am I like killing any chance I ever have of working for Marvel by doing
Yeah,
this?
I tell you what, someone may hire you just so they can fire you, and that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Well, the I yeah, I mean, it's funny as I thought about that, and
Yeah,
I
why
thought,
not?
I not necessarily they'd hire me to fire me, but it's like,
Why not?
yeah, why not? Well, no, I thought, there's no way this could hurt anything.
No, no, I know. That's as Scott Adams talks about it. If you want a superpower, don't ever be embarrassed by anything.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
I mean, don't be thinking about these trolls that are trying to get to you in any way. It's like, oh,
Right.
bring them on.
Yeah.
Bring your
Well,
ugly, ugly little face up out of the hole, brother. I love
it's
you, all
funny
of you.
it's funny you say that because every
Uh,
time someone reacts negatively, it's just more
it's a
engagement.
hit. It's a
Yeah,
hit
it's a
and
hit.
engagement.
So,
Yeah.
yep. And
Yeah,
it's like,
as a matter of fact, I believe the engagement on thumbs up or thumbs down is equal.
Oh,
It's like
really?
yes, oh yeah, yeah. You're making just as much.
I don't
Uh,
know if I've gotten any thumbs down actually on my video.
huh?
I've just had people that have reacted badly, and like I say, most of it's in that cartoonist kayfabe group, which is
Uh-huh.
crazy. You would think after everything, these people would not be kissing Marvel's butt. You know,
Well, my big one that I actually edited and put together well on the Corbin thing that has gone well for me enough well for me. Uh, that is cool. I mean, it really excites you to realize you got something that
that other people want to see.
yeah, it is cool.
And
And
I'll
like
tell you,
and like I say, and of course Doug is the big dog here that I know, but Doug has taken it totally into the realm of he has asked himself totally about the market and what it is people want, which is obviously the smart thing to do. So leave it to Doug to do the smart thing.
yeah,
He's not even talking about what he does for a living or has done all his life. He's talking about politics.
yep. Uh,
Uh,
I forgot what I was going to say.
oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no,
Scott, would
that's
it be
okay.
cool to share the video at the Kauai Hora page?
Sure, absolutely,
Kauai? Kauai?
absolutely. Oh, that was the thing is, and I've thought about should I tag, in the metadata, should I put CB Sapolsky or Tom Brevoort or somebody at Marvel? And I didn't, but I've considered going back and adding it. I don't know if they watch that kind of stuff, but
Well, hey, well, I tell you what, that's the guy that's most likely going to
the
hire you to
the
fire you.
who does?
CB,
Well,
so I've had
I
enough of this.
well,
Okay, I'm going to
I'm
hire this
very
guy just long enough to
fire his ass.
fire him when he sends the first assignment in. Okay.
Well, I was very upfront. In the beginning, I start off with kind of a little bit of my bio,
Hmm.
and I'm very upfront about, I've been to Marvel Comics twice. I know a bunch of people. I've hung out with CB. I know CB Cebulski. I've been, I consider him a friend. So I'm not. This isn't really an anti-Marvel video. It's just a why. I mean, part of it's money really, and just
Hmm.
the work environment. But yeah, anybody watching this that sees it, feel free to share it anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Link,
don't
link,
care.
link below. Link below.
Yeah, I
Check it
mean,
out.
I don't.
I've got to watch it. I've just made sure I'm subscribed to it and all that. It made me aware of the fact that hey, Scott's had a YouTube channel for some time. I never, I never. It's like
Never subscribed. I
no,
never subscribed.
I didn't subscribe with both my entities.
There you
As,
go.
as Scott was saying, I've got one entity that has. I guess it could be monetized at this point. I've got a couple thousand on one channel, but I loaded it up with like, here's a clip from a movie that I like, and here's a clip from the extras off this DVD. So this is stuff. There's no point in even trying to monetize it.
Is there no point in trying?
There's always a point in trying, I guess, but
Right.
I don't want it to. I also don't want it to evaporate as a struck off channel.
Well, if you're concerned about that, that might be the case. But it
Yeah,
would be worth checking to see if it was
yeah,
even eligible. It might. I mean, there are other criteria besides 1,000 subscribers.
yeah,
You have to have
yeah.
so
That's
many
true. Yeah, that's true.
views, and if you haven't
Well,
added anything in a while, it may not be. It's like 4,000 views in the last 365 days.
right. Yeah, I've got. It's always the channel that actually has more new subscribers and more engagement than any of my than my this channel, and so it's weird, but that just shows you I was using other people's talents.
Yeah, yeah, content. What's
Yeah, yeah.
funny, Ellis, is I recorded it and then I watched it because I was like, I didn't just do this and throw it up. I was very cognizant of the idea that this is.
Did you script it all?
I did not script it. I took notes though because there's math in there. I talk about
Hmm.
I do the different math for page rates and that sort of thing. And so I did have notes like that, but I didn't script it. I did have an outline because I got three major points because it's three reasons, right? So, uh, but I listened to it and I was like, this I sound really good in this video. It
Oh,
would be
you've got a great voice. One of the things is like you don't have to get your AI voice going for you.
no. I don't need that. But yeah, I watched it and I was like, I sound really good in this.
Hmm.
And well, and that's the other thing is, I said that the MTV guy wants me on their phone calls. Well,
Just to hear your voice.
well, so I've been asked to send a video of me talking. I don't know what,
Aha.
and so I sent that video. So I don't know I don't know what's going on. I'm supposed to meet with that guy tomorrow, actually, after sometime
Hmm.
in the evening or whatever.
Cool.
You know, yeah, not the MTV guy, but my. So
Your friend, your contact.
yeah,
Okay.
I got a contact who wants me to do some kind of deal, and the guy that's bankrolling the whole thing is the guy that was instrumental in starting MTV, and he started CMT, and he's done all this stuff. And my friend that knows this guy they knew each other in North Carolina, I think. I think they served on the city council together, and it's a like an interactive. He does immersive entertainment and interactive kind of stuff, and he wants me to be part of it. Well, my friend is like, I want you to be part of it, and and he
Hmm.
said it's funny because he said I've talked to other people about it. And he said they keep harassing me. I keep telling them, well, we got to start the thing. And they're like, when am
Hmm.
I going to get money? And I'm like, he's like, you're the only one not harassing me. I'm like, well, because I know you. There's nothing to get paid for yet.
No,
you
no.
know?
No,
Yeah.
you gotta have the Adam Carolla philosophy on this early kind of endeavor.
What's the
You
Adam?
know, well, you just don't. Fairly often, you work for free on stuff that is like this in a formative kind of stage, and
Oh yeah.
those guys slaved in the trenches for a long time before anything like podcasting became a going concern. Corolla was so important to all those lazy comedians that saw that and realized, including Rogan. Rogan was one of the first guys that was a guest on Corolla that looked that over and said, "Man, I dig this," and we know the rest is history. On Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan
Oh
must be
yeah.
one of the most highest paid media anythings at this point, I would think,
I would think
and
so.
certainly one of the biggest influencers. He's
That's what I was going
actually,
to say. One of the most influentials for sure.
yeah.
Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff going on right now, Ellis, as you can
Hmm.
tell.
Hmm.
And then, of course, the black cricket.
Yeah, yeah, you're doing that, and it can't help but help the cricket if you get a little bit
That's
of
yeah, that's the goal. I mean, I
a
kind
little
of
bit of
messed up.
a rep,
I
etc.
kind of messed up because I mentioned I was working on a comic project. Because my thing was, it's not that I hate comics. It's just,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I said, and so several people have asked, so I pinned and because I didn't mention it, but I kind of was like, I didn't want it to be at the comic. So what I want to do is sometime either this weekend or next week, I'm gonna do a live stream and on YouTube, and when I'm drawing and draw the black cricket on YouTube,
Very cool. Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Well, I mean that's half the content on artist stuff is to say, join me. I'm spending an evening drawing, and it's like,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
I may not watch that, but
Yeah.
because obviously you expect more to
Yeah.
happen. I'd rather watch something edited that we're sitting here drawing, but we're in a back and forth manner, and that's the shows that. They don't have the dead air. You got people talking back and forth to each other. Is
Right.
the typical thing, this sort of linkage or some sort of Zoom call or something like that gets a couple of people together. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, also the other challenge is now I've got to follow this up.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
about doing one that was 3 reasons why I love Marvel comics.
There you go.
It's gonna go with the theme, but I don't know.
I've changed my mind.
No, I haven't changed. Well, hey,
Well,
in the
I mean,
video,
why not? On a dime, you should be able to ready to do anything as your
sure,
YouTube click worthiness.
absolutely.
Who? Oh yeah, German in Venice is another guy I subscribe to that is very interesting. He responds to his trolls in the same sort of mystified way that you're kind of responding to some of the heat you've gotten. He was out and about. Someone called him, told him something was happening down the sidewalk from where he's at in Venice Beach, and he decided to say, I'd rather sit here. I'm tired. I've been doing stuff all day long. He got out with his camera and all that and started covering a SWAT situation that was going on down the street. And it
Oh,
was,
geez.
it made national news, and it's like he's just out there being one of the problems with the other night crawlers. He actually
Yeah,
had a guy that was an actual night crawler that he knows that was out there with him, and it's like, this is interesting. And then he got people, that were criticizing him for the ghoulishness of it all. They're used to him being very lighthearted and all that, and then to cover what ended up being, a guy being shot to death and all that is isn't their usual fare. But hey, it's down the door from me. I'm on YouTube,
yeah, man.
and the bottom line is he knew that it would get a lot of clicks, a lot of engagement.
Free content.
Yep.
Hmm.
A German in Venice. I've promoted a German in Venice without even trying to, but with all our engagement I get with this channel. That's the other thing. I don't ever follow on and tag this and give it good thumbnails and all that, and I need to. That's I'm shortness, Scott, by
Yeah,
not doing it
eh,
right.
kind of.
I'm working right now on this paper, which is kind of a thrill for me
I've
because
never seen that pad before. Where'd you get
it's
that?
I realized watching a guy on Instagram that there is such a thing as oil painting paper, and so I just typed it in for a search on Amazon, and this is $1 a sheet. I paid $10 for 10 sheets, and right now I'm working on this little sketch to put fixative on it and a little linseed oil. And I am going to paint that circle. But the main thing is, I'm getting to use a pencil, and I'm using this
Yeah,
because it's paper. It's what I know.
yeah,
Whereas I get on a canvas panel or a gessoed plank of masonite, and it's not as much fun to draw. Here I'm just having my usual fun drawing.
yeah. I like that Batman sketch too.
Yeah, thank you.
Is he
Oh yeah,
is he shooting a web? What's he doing
yeah.
there?
I just thought it. I always
You
joke
know it's
around
not
with
you know it's
Batman
not you know
anyway.
it's not Spider Man. Oh,
Yeah, but
speaking of, I'm doing free comic book day sketches this Saturday.
excellent. Don't be afraid to pimp the cricket out.
I will not be afraid to.
Cool about the live stream. I like that idea. And that looks groovy, Ellis. Yep. Thank you. Free comic book day. Yeah, yeah. And
Yep.
free sketch day from Scott.
Yeah. I'm gonna do some free sketches. Ooh. I took off work tomorrow because I figured out I've got to meet. I told you I got that lunch meeting, and that's over by here by my house, and I only need to work for about 30 minutes tomorrow, and I have my 40 hours. I thought, well, why am I driving all the way across town for that? It didn't make any sense to me. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So take the day off.
So I took the day, and we're not busy. That's really the big thing. We're in
I'll
the
just
post rush lull, so I'm
so you've
so
had a rush, so now you're all fatigued.
yeah.
This Louis L'Amour audio book. I recommend that you get your own copy of it. The Lonesome Gods. I think you'll dig the story. It's
Uh,
it's long. It's 13 discs, or probably it's 13 hours probably at least. So for him, that can be long. I mean, compared to your typical tight little L'Amour stories.
Lonesome Gods.
Yeah,
Lonesome
gods.
Gods. Okay, I wrote it on the margin notes.
Okay. Yeah, I recommend that. What else? Oh, I'm watching. I just started it last night. First, I watched all the extras, so I was fatigued for the idea of actually digging in and watching the movie. So I put it off till tonight. I'm going to watch it tonight. Of Gentlemen Broncos. Have you ever seen Gentlemen Broncos?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Never heard of it. What's it about?
The YouTube was feeding me clips of it, so I had to get. It's about homeschooling. You could boil it down that way to an
What?
extent. It's about this kid who's kind of naive about lots of things because he is homeschooled by a very new age kind of mother. I think that's what they used to call woke back in the day. It was new age, but
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, but she loves this kid, dotes on him, and all that, and he's a writer. He's a creative force, and he will meet several creative forces during the course of this movie. It is great. It's by the guy that did Napoleon Dynamite.
Is it new?
Not really. I didn't.
Gentlemen Broncos.
Yeah, Gentlemen Broncos,
Okay.
and it's got Sam Rockwell in it as just the most hilarious character you'll ever see in a movie. Oh, and it's got a low. You remember I talked to a guy that was at that art show we went to years ago, and he had one of the titles come up, and it's a bunch of old science fiction artwork. And the Sam Rockwell title used his artwork from one of his paperback covers. What was his name? David something. And he used to show up at the cons all the time when I was here back in the day. And Sam Rockwell title is his art. I looked up on who all the artists were that were used for the titles.
Hmm.
Oh, do you
I don't.
remember that? Do you
I
remember that?
don't.
Me
No, I don't.
talking to that anymore? He was that guy that was currently all heavily involved in cityscapes.
Oh, no, 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 no. Was that at the arts festival?
Yeah, yeah, the arts festival.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was at a convention. Yeah,
No, no.
I remember that guy. No idea what his name is.
Yeah, it's David something. He was.
Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, 100% remember that guy.
Yeah, his art was featured prominently in that a real clever title sequence.
That reminds me, did you ever look at that Flickr page I sent you of my cousins?
No, other than just seeing the thumbnail of it, and so this is going to reveal this guy's art that is a big influence on you.
Well, hang on. Okay, so I have a cousin. This is
Hmm.
for the audience. I have a cousin who's
Okay.
he's 10 or 15 years older than me. I'm not sure exactly how old he is, but when I was in junior high, he was going to college at OU, and he was going for art. I think he may have got a degree in painting, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always considered him like a real artist, whatever that means. And
Mm-hmm.
and I've never considered myself like a real artist. And I don't say that,
Means
he
he's
just
addicted. He means he's addicted to heroin.
oh, is that
No,
yeah,
no,
that's what
no.
it
I'm
is.
kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
Well, anyway, and it's funny because so he's got his I found his Flickr site,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's probably ancient, but I was looking at it, and I like his stuff, but I don't want to draw like him,
Hmm.
and I can't figure out. I don't know. I just was curious on your take on it.
Oh, I haven't studied it yet, but I what I saw looked like it was very loose and kind of like the stuff I do. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Oh, wait. Hang on. I got a picture of his
You want to just yeah,
hanging on my wall. Just wait right here. Hang on. It's not very big. I can.
show it.
Now this is not an original. This is a print.
Okay, yeah, yeah. It looks like Arthur Rackham kind of looking, kind of
Kind of.
watercolor. Yeah.
It's watercolor,
Hmm.
and
Maybe
a lot
even
of his
colored ink. I don't know.
a
Some
lot
of.
of his stuff is like this. Oops.
Hmm.
And I dig it. But anyway, I was just curious. But it's so different than the kind of stuff I do. It's so
Hmm.
loose, and I can't work
Yes.
that loose. And I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Well, I saw a very good. There's this guy that obviously I'm following him, so I like his art. He's a very good digital painter, and he talks about a very crucial time in his education where he had one teacher that finally, without even trying, just zeroed right in on him and said, "Ah, you're a painter," because he was struggling drawing because he didn't realize it. He just didn't like to draw and render. He was a big shape guy and says, "Ah, she saw what he was doing as a drawing and she said, "Ah, you're a painter. I see that." And that was it. She just pronounced him there and then as a painter and explained a little bit of why she said that. And that was it. She just walked away from it. But him, in her wake, he's left this guy whose head is buzzing.
Yeah, he's
He's,
like,
he's,
what?
he's going, "What the hell? I'm a painter. That's it. That's what's wrong."
Now I
You know.
know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Could be.
he just found that as just a very crucial moment in his
I
development.
think I think most artists, and you can agree or disagree with this, at some
Okay.
point in their life, somebody tells them, and
Somebody
probably
important to him. Yeah.
like a parent or a grandparent or something. Because I specifically remember several people specifically telling me, "Oh, you're a very good artist." And
Hmm.
up until then, I never thought of myself. I just drew because I like to draw.
Yep. No, that happened to me, and me, denying it. I remember that too. It's like, nah, nah, I'm not an artist. And then eventually,
don't
kind of like
don't
saying, wait
lay
a
that
second.
on me.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Then eventually, I just said, huh, yeah, you know what? I may be an artist. That
Well,
may
do
be
me
the
a
way I want to
favor.
go.
When you get a chance, scroll through his Flickr stuff and tell me.
I will.
And I think I think my problem is I take this, not that I take it too seriously, but I think I take it too seriously. And I think like a real artist would have more of a laissez-faire attitude about his art. You know.
Just it just depends. That I say artists or painters or renderers or drawers, whatever. That's not necessarily true. You got guys that can do it all, obviously,
Yeah.
and Frazetta could do it all. And Bernie Wrightson is an interesting example of a guy that was obviously thinking as a painter as he's doing line art. And it's like then when he tries to paint, and obviously he's got Jeff Jones looking at him, what he's doing as a member of the studio over there, and everybody, just said, "Gosh, Jeff, you're what I wish I could do." You know,
And
that 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 that,
that's
that was everybody's verdict in the studio. They all wanted to be Jeff Jones.
and that's funny because I consider Jeff Jones one of the weakest members.
Well, because you have so much admiration for what those other guys were doing. But as an artist, you're looking at Jeff Jones and you're saying, "Man, you figured it out, Jeff. That's what we want to do."
Yeah.
But Wrightson never turned the corner on being anything like a good painter. I don't think
Yeah.
I ever saw anything that he did that he had paint going onto the page
Oh, I've
that I
seen.
really liked.
Oh, okay. I was just saying. I think I've seen some watercolors that he's
Oh,
done.
he's great. I mean, he's not going to do something that's not competent and that you could buy and stick on a cover, but it's just not got that pizzazz that he had as a guy that was painting with his line art, like his Joseph Clement Cole copying kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Anyway, well, I'd be curious what you thought about. I mean, you know,
I'll give you a verdict pretty soon.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Verdict. I've already
Well,
I
and I
decided I'm
think,
judging him.
and I think that in my mind, and this goes to our earlier conversation. In my mind, it's like he's just a guy that just creates, and it's
Mm,
not like I'm drawing for a purpose or I'm doing.
mm,
He's just like it's just like blah, and it's out there,
mm-hmm.
And I think maybe I should be more like that, but I don't think I'm like that. I'm too reserved. It's drugs. That's what it is. I never did enough I never did any drugs.
Hey, Scott, Dan had this note. Did you see this? The FCBD event. I can post it on the page. Send me the details.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay.
I don't know what the details are. I'm gonna be
Okay.
there at 9, and I'm gonna draw until I get tired of people.
Free comic book day.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw until I get tired of people, which will be 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He encourages the cosplay for one thing. So right away you're
Yeah, already I'm on razor's edge.
yeah. It's like, hey, get away from me,
No, I'm gonna.
monkey man.
Yeah, I've
Or
got
whatever.
it. Well,
Just
what
kidding.
drives me crazy at stuff like this is I don't, you come up, hey, draw me a Hawkeye, draw me a Spider-Man, draw me a Hulk, draw me a Wonder Woman. I'm cool with that. Draw me an anime character. I'm cool with that. What drives you crazy is when people come up and they want a sketch, but they don't know what they want, or they're like, which I get indecision, I get, but it's just more like,
Draw me.
um, draw
Draw my baby.
draw my
I don't.
baby, draw me kicking a football, and I'm like, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, you get a Spider-Man head,
yeah, exactly.
but
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah. So sure, go down real hard and intensely, and then look up with a Spider-Man drawing. It's like,
just
there you
cover it with
go. Yeah,
cover it with my hand like a kid taking a test. Okay, I'm
yeah,
drawing.
just
Then
just
Spider-Man.
act like you're on the spectrum or something, and
Yeah.
whatever anybody asks you, you
Woo!
give them Spider-Man.
I'll do my morning ritual of a double espresso and followed with a glass of orange juice. Yeah. Anyway, I'm doing that Saturday. So
Scott, draw me like you do your French girls. That's right. I've only seen that movie once. Can you believe that? I did see it though at the theater, and I knew right away it was going to make $1 billion because the little girls behind me, Asians, and they weren't, totally cool with their English, just a little bit broken. They said, "Oh, he's so beautiful."
Oh, there you go.
They were reacting to Leonardo, and I knew that the repeat viewing, which is what made that
Yeah.
thing make $1 billion, was
You know
all
what's
about
funny?
Leonardo.
I have the DVD. I've never watched it.
Yeah, yeah,
We
it's one
went
of
to
those things. It's
we
like
toured, and I liked it. I'm
it's a great
I'm a
movie.
I'm kind of a history fan,
Hmm.
and the Titanic. I've read multiple books about the Titanic and watched documentaries and stuff. Just never watched the movie
Yep.
for whatever
Oh,
reason.
you flat haven't seen the movie, huh?
I've never seen the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, the never seen the movie. Own it, just never watched it because God, it's like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's 3 hours. You'd be pretty
I'd
wrapped
be
up in it pretty quick.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't have patience for long movies. Besides, I got comics to draw.
That's right. I
That's
forget
what
what I was. Yeah, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say I got to get that storage unit off the ground because I can work about 3 days a week, and then I have time to do all this other stuff.
Yeah, the new groove. Yeah, be working
Yeah,
out two
yeah.
Batmans on. These are just totally for the sake of experimenting. I did two Batmans so I can paint over them with fixative and linseed oil. One of them gets just fixative, and one of them gets linseed oil and fixative. Oh no! That the experiment was to put linseed oil directly over the pencils and see if it totally obliterates it. So one of these drawings has got a chance of just being obliterated by my linseed oil. I know the
Did you
fixative,
draw? Did you draw the Blackwing?
the black. Oh, this is the Blackwing mat. Yep, sure
I
is.
bet. I bet it dissolves.
You think so? Yeah, I could.
Yeah,
I could. You know what?
you
Oh,
could. You
I'm going
could
to doodle
test
right
it
out
on.
here to the side, right here,
Yeah,
and we'll give that a shot.
I feel like that Blackwing. I mean, I like Blackwings, and that
Hmm.
mat's pretty nice, the one you gave me.
Hmm.
But I
But it
feel
probably
like
will just soak up and go away,
it.
won't
Yeah, I feel like it'll run
it? Hmm.
like a I don't know something. Make
Dog.
up a thing. A dog. It'll run like a dog.
Run like a dog you shot in the face.
Ooh,
You talk.
ooh. I,
Well, I'm talking about you don't keep up with the politics, I guess that I do. That
no, no, no,
woman
no. The woman,
that
yeah, the
was a
runner up.
VP. Yeah, VP consideration. How do you even, if you're in politics, how do you even coax the information out of you that you might have shot a puppy in the face at one time or other in your life? What kind of political instincts did she have in the first place?
None, none.
Yeah,
Trump needs to run from her.
yeah, he does.
Well,
It's like you do
first
not
off,
tell anybody. It doesn't matter how bad that if it was frothing at the mouth. You don't tell
yeah.
anybody you shot a puppy.
And you don't, and yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, me and dogs. I mean, I'm like you and
Yeah,
cats.
yeah. Well, I like dogs too. I'm instantly a dog's best friend. Try to be. Yeah.
Hey, my previous dog loved you. You were one of the
Oh
few
yeah,
people
yeah.
that dog loved,
Little
and
peaches. It's a
little
shame to see
oh,
these things. Yeah, it makes it sad to even say the name, doesn't
golly,
it?
I know. I guarantee you, if my wife came in here and I said the word,
She'd
she'd probably
cry.
break. She would
Yeah.
cry, 100%.
Hmm.
You know, and I might be right there with her. It's
Yeah,
sad.
yeah. It is sad to think about it. You go over that little part of your brain that love that animal.
Well, and it was young. She was young. She
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
She wasn't very old. So but the and our current dog has, which I don't think you've been to my house since the new dog's been
No,
around.
uh.
The new dog is she's fun because she's kind of a little terror, but she's getting ready to go to obedience school again, and she's going to one-on-one classes, dude.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna get her
we're
fixed.
we're gonna break a little bit of that rambunctiousness out of her,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
attempt to at least.
yeah.
I don't know if it'll actually happen, but we're gonna
Uh,
try.
I have to do it all the time with this feral cat. I decided was an indoor cat now. She has to be put out early in the morning sometimes, where it's obviously going to be impossible to get any sleep when this she's decided the sun's comes up. It's time to get going. You know,
Yeah,
which isn't that could be a positive thing. I don't think so.
yeah, yeah. You should maybe get out of bed once in a while, Ellis.
Yeah, here she
So
comes. Just speak of the devil. Of course, that we're almost an hour in. We're at
I
59 minutes. Go
I am
ahead.
off tomorrow, like I told
Look at
you.
this. Look
And
at this. The cat jumped on my board just as I said that. Look at that.
oh,
Look at her
geez,
stomp all over everything. Look at that. How am I going to draw with that tail right
that's
across my topic? There
that's
we
why I
go.
don't have cats, man. You can't
Yeah.
keep. My dog could run around the chair for an hour, and I could ignore her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm off tomorrow, and I'm gonna be up early, drawing and
Yeah,
everything. There's a tail right across your Batman.
yeah. I knew it was going to be big because Leo died. Yep. Happy ending. People like it, but not a mega hit. Happy ending. Mega.
I
Oh,
guess I guess he didn't hear
Sad
the
ending.
part
People
where
go
I
back to
had.
see it again and
I
again.
guess he
Yeah,
didn't
you're
hear the
right.
part where I haven't watched it.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Oops. Sorry for the spoiler, dude. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's the Titanic. Most people
Yeah.
did die.
Most people died. That's the whole. That's the whole gimmick of it. Is they're
We
talking
went, yeah,
a
Survivor.
survivor. Yeah.
The We went
Oops.
to the Titanic Museum in Branson, Missouri, and I know there's a couple nationally. If you ever get a chance to go to one, I recommend it. They're pretty cool.
That sounds cool.
It's
Hey,
got a lot of recreations and stuff of the Titanic, and like the fixtures and the rooms and stuff. It's really cool.
it is amazing that they have, they their decisions to say, okay, that's a what do you call it, a tomb or a
Yeah,
it should be revered. We aren't going to be excavating this. I'd like to see some excavation going on. I'd like to see artifacts brought up.
they
You know,
brought some stuff up. I think one of the cool things at the Titanic Museum in Branson, they have you can go and they have like the I guess it's the upper deck or something, and it's been a while since I've been there, so if I'm misremembering it, please forgive me. But you can see the control room or whatever, and you can go out on the actual deck, like the front whatever, and it's cold, and you're in a big room, and it's made. Okay, yeah, the movie's been out 26 years. Okay, fair
that's
enough.
right.
But it's you're on the. It feels like you're on a deck of a ship, and it's dark. The room is big enough you can't really see the wall, and it's dark, but you can see in the distance. If you look close, you can see the iceberg, and it's cold out there. It's
Uh-huh.
really eerie because it kind of gives you a feeling of like this is what it'd be like being on the deck right before the Titanic hit.
Having all of a sudden that loom up at you. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
Of
crazy.
course, the deal is the movie depicts this very well. But of course, it's what's below the water that's killing your butt.
Yep, the sharks.
Yep. Well, yeah. The ice. Okay.
Ice. What? No.
The way an iceberg is built.
I,
Basically
yeah, they're yeah.
you're creaming yourself on the shelf of the whole thing.
Right. It
Okay.
grazes you up top, but below
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
ripping apart your bow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's time to say goodbye. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
It looks like, well, would you like me to keep you company while you try to finish this page? It looks like you almost got done.
No, I'm gonna go get me some more coffee.
There you go. That's a good idea. Hey, look at this cat. Cat is rubbing his cheek gland all over the camera. It's just like, okay.
No.
Okay. I'll end it then. Hey, Dan,
Oh,
thanks for
okay.
being here. And
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
I
And
run Planet Apes for one friend, and the movie had only been out 31 years. Oh, run Planet of the Apes. Okay, 31 years. I always liked that, the Happy Days where so and so the mouth came in, and Richie's parents are all ready to go out and watch Psycho, and the mouth comes and says, "Oh man, you'll love it. Tony Perkins is his own mother."
yeah. And they
And
like
they take their coats off
taking
and
their
his
coats
hat
off.
off, and
I love Happy Days.
yeah, they had some good gags.
They did. They did.
Okay, we're out of here. Cats like
Okay.
Batman, Ellis. Yep, that's right. Yeah, it's knocked my camera all cattywampus.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we'll see you later.
See ya.
Okay.